All right, first and foremost, want to give all praises to Yahweh Bahashim Yahushai, your double honor to the elders that rule well. Say honor to Shalom to the brothers out there doing the work in truth and sincerity. All right, we are the Hebrew Israelites. We come out here week in and week out to our people, the Negro, Latino, and Native Americans, over they are according to the Bible. We are the Hebrew Israelites. Those are that everybody knows so-called white man known as the devil and the Edomite biblically. And America is known as Babylon the Great in the Bible, and will soon be destroyed.
That's right.
All right. Now, give me let's go to Revelation 8. It's in their nature to do what is against nature. They're fucking parasites, right? But you got our people, the black and Hispanic man, that's flaming faggots and carbon merchandise they got there. Like, what's this motherfucker's name? I don't even know this nigga's name. Sam the Ram, right? That goddamn homosexual, okay? On stage kissing some goddamn cracker when he get drafted on the mouth. Nigga, I wish death upon you and yours.
Hey man, he was feeding them what, ice cream or cake or what the fuck was that?
What type of sick shit is that? And the cameraman that filmed that shit, death to you and yours.
Hey man, this is on national TV. Everybody seen this show. Kids seen it.
Little kids, you ain't even seeing dudes. Dudes is up in there with their parents. They're not even in there with their girl like that. They up in there with their parents, their mama, their daddy in there and shit. But this faggot nigga is in there with his faggot lover.
The thing about it is, man, we already know how the so-called white man works, man, and how he orchestrates things and
it's
plans.
All by design, yeah.
This is all by design. You know, to be honest, like this brother just said, they in there with their parents. You didn't even see this man's parents.
He's in there. His parents fucking disowned him.
He's in there with a fucking nigga, man, holding a nigga hand the whole damn time.
And they kept kissing, like they kissed like numerous times.
I didn't even know who the motherfucker was, man. I caught like a little preview of it in between the game. You know, and I'm like, who the fuck is this nigga holding this cracking nigga hand right here? And then they fucking kissed. I was like, oh, this is sick, dude. They're broadcasting this all over the place. His parents were there. You didn't see no siblings, no aunts, uncles, no nothing. You only see this fucking faggot with him, man.
Hey man, and now it's like, you feel me? All them little kids. There's a lot of little kids that watch that draft and everything. Now it's stimulated in their mind.
Kids,
exactly.
When they at the draft, you want to be at that event one day. You want to be up in there. Usually, you want to be up in there with you imagine you up in there with your parents,
your agent,
your agent. They got the jersey for you and all that, right? Now they're getting the fucking idea superimposed into their mind that you can be up there with your boy, with your boy.
You understand this, man? The younger crowd right now, man, is already just wide the fuck open. You know what I'm saying?
Getting trains right on
That's what I'm saying, man. Hey, man, nose is wide open. Like brother said, nose so wide open, you can run a tractor trailer through that motherfucker, man. So when they basically what they're doing is they send out these vibrations, man. Like the brother just said, they running trains on your psyche, man, and your mental. Putting that shit out there like that shit is okay, you know? And that shit is not cool. That shit is not cool at all.
Now they got that image. Now all them little boys got that image in their head. They didn't seen it.
I was just about to say, man, next thing you know, you got motherfuckers rocking pedal pushers and open-toe thong sandals. Walking down the street with a goddamn pompadour here.
Motherfucking capri pants and shit. Looking like Jimmy Neutron when he grow up.
No lie. You see what I'm saying? That shit is crazy. Let me get this though. This is Revelation chapter 11, verse 8. And their dead bodies shall lie in the streets of the great city.
Their dead bodies shall lie in the streets of this great city. The black and Hispanic man is walking around this motherfucker. He walking, but he's dead. And he's in the great city, which is Babylon, which is America. This is that great city, right? Go ahead.
You said that real quick.
Precept you get. Yeah, get that.
Kind of get that because this is just really the main thing, or just give further explanation of why we out here dead, man. This is Proverbs 21:16. The man that wandereth out of the way of understanding.
The man that wandereth out of the way of understanding. So the man that either leaves this truth or the man that never receives this truth, right, Reed?
That's right. It says, shall remain in the congregation of the dead.
Shall remain in the congregation of the dead. So if you're not in the truth as a black and Hispanic man, your ass is fucking dead.
That's right.
You are not alive. Yeah, that's right. Because the Most High, the knowledge, wisdom, and understanding of Yahweh Hashem Yahushai is the literal breath of life. Right? So you're not alive right now. You're in the congregation of the dead. You're amongst dead people. So when it says they're dead body shall lie in the street. That's what it's talking about. A bunch of niggas and spicks not knowing what the hell they are, or what the hell is going on. That's what it's in reference to. Go ahead, I.
Like, this is kind of, pressing issue, and I can't stress it enough. Not only is there so many of our people that are out here that wander out of the understanding of the Most High and who they are, people being the Most High's chosen, all right, being a part of the 12 tribes on the sign. Think about how many out there that amongst them that are dead that actually agree, with this faggotry.
Yeah, that's
whether being a faggot or just supporting it, man.
I support him and everything he does.
That's right.
He's got great courage. What kind of shit is that?
Then they put your boy
What's
Collins.
courageous?
Then they put your boy. That's what I'm saying. Then they put your boy Collins on there.
Jason Collins, gay ass, who did what in the league? Who did what in the league? What is his fucking career highlight?
Don't lie, bro.
But he's just courageous.
Like you say, it's all systematically, planned out and devised. Because guess what? This man just sits on the fucking bench. He's the Juwan Howard of the fucking. Who's with the Nets?
He was, but I don't
He's
even know
either
if
with
he's
the
with
Nets
the
or the Spurs.
Nets right
He's with the
now.
Nets or the Spurs, some black and white team, right? Either the Nets or the Spurs. I'm
He
not
was with the
completely sure
Nets.
about it.
I don't know how long that lasted.
I want to say he's still there, bro. Like I said, either it's them or the Spurs. I just seen him yesterday.
Okay, or
They interviewed him after the game. He's like the Juwan Howard of one of them teams, man. You just sit on a bench collecting a check. So systematically, the way we look at it, being men of understanding, of course they what they gonna say? Look, we're gonna pay you this amount of money. We're gonna keep you running the league, and then what you're gonna do is you're gonna come out to the world, about your issue. All right, because it's definitely an issue and your problem.
yeah, that's right.
Once you come out about that, boom, stay a couple of more years in the league, give that idea that it's okay, you're accepted, you're welcome, to the league, living that type of lifestyle, and then guess what? You can go on about your life. He's been in the league about 14, 15 years. You suck. You don't get in the fucking game. What point are you even doing there?
You in the playoffs right now doing what?
What are you even there for, man?
Yeah, what the fuck are you even here?
Yeah.
But this the whole thing is this. You gotta understand the design of everything. All at the same time, you got a faggot in the NBA. You got a faggot in football. And you got this faggot Macklemore putting out this faggot music. It's all in every aspect of life where kids aspire to be in the music industry and the sports world, you have prevalent faggots. Faggots being featured prevalently, man. Why is this? It's all to put another gay bomb out into the airwaves.
That's right. And then think about it like this: you got faggot-ass Obama that reached out to him, right? You got faggot-ass Kobe.
Football player that reached out to him.
A whole bunch of them.
Yeah.
But I'm talking about just the real, idols and icons out here. You got Obama that reached out to him. You got Kobe that reached out to Collins back when he came out. All these dudes showing their support. But the thing about it is, like the point this brother just brought out, it's only in the sport and the entertainment world. Where's there faggot in the political world right now?
Yeah, where's your Milk? What's this nigga named Milk from the 70s and shit?
Yeah. You see what I'm saying?
Been another one since when?
You don't see no faggots, in Congress, or in office right now.
And think about the amount of black faggots.
That's right. That's right.
Think about it.
And that's the thing, though. They'll allow us, to be in the entertainment world and to be in the sport world because that's what they need us. Same thing, going back to this whole Donald Sterling shit. I don't have a fucking problem with black people. Hey, they're fantastic. Hey, they're great athletes. They make me a lot of money. I just don't want to associate with you. So they don't want us to be in Congress. They don't want us to, be getting in the office and doing things like that. They want us to be in the entertainment world and the sport world where they can contain us, they can control us, and we can be overly faggots doing that shit.
And too, and with all that said, one person I gotta say fuck you too is Michael Jordan.
Yeah, that's right.
Because Michael Jordan is taking pictures with Macklemore.
Right.
But what did he tell, what's my nigga name? What's my nigga name he told? Millionaire. He said, I don't take no picture with no nigga. He said that to the millionaire. But he's taking pictures with Macklemore. And he's investing in the business. Doing things like that. He's down with the white man. That's the only reason he's an owner right now. And all the black owners.
I was going to say, other black owners.
Jay-Z owned a minority stock.
Unfortunate.
There's what people like Dre beat. They talk about Dre gonna be the first billionaire shit. Dr. Dre owns a minority stock in that company. He is the face of the company, but the cracker owns that company. That's the white boy company.
I remember this brother did tell me that. Because
That's
everybody
Jimmy
was sitting there going
Iovine
around making that. I was like, I didn't even know this motherfucker actually owned it.
It's like it's been owned by Monster.
They said he owned 20% of the company. Which, so he gonna understand something. He gonna get his little money off this little deal if they sell it to Apple and shit. But Esau is really getting the money off.
I thought they sold it for $3.5 billion.
It's supposed to be 3.2 billion. So of that, they say Dr. Dre gonna make
At least
5 to 800 million, that's a hell of a payday. But that cracker gonna make a whole lot more money than he.
Of
Dr.
course.
Dre is the founder of it, and he's like the face of it. But he's not. A nigga is not the. Listen, and the only time now, look, Dre beats is prevalent, right? And that's the whole thing about 50 Cent SMS. You don't see people walking down the street with SMS audio, but he got that deal with Disney, to where he's in your your house and you don't even know it. That Cinderella toy that plays the sound, that's his shit. That's it. Now, yeah, so he's getting this little money, but it's not as prevalent because he's doing it on his own. Remember he had the deal with Sleek, and then he said, fuck Sleek, I'm starting my entire own shit, right? So he's getting his money that way, but it's not gonna boom as big as Dre Beats because a cracker's not behind it. But he's still gonna get his money. You see what I'm saying? Right. But see, Esau gonna let you get your money, but it's gotta be either you gotta get your money behind the scenes, or you gonna get your money on the scenes, but I'm gonna get more money than you. That's how Esau work, which is crazy. But that's the whole thing of niggas got misconceptions.
You know what it is? You can tell the things. You can tell the ventures and the products that the so-called white man is behind. Because what they do is they force feed you that shit. Man. That's why everybody trying to sit up here and get mad at Mike Epps because he said that Kevin Hart was overrated. But hey, what did he say? He said when people are force feeding you some shit, you really start to believe that person is either funny, he's either good, he's either smart, or whatever it is.
He ain't all that.
You see what I'm saying? And the thing about it, I went into who was the last person after Monster dropped the deal with Beats. HTC bought it up.
Yeah.
Bought it, right? So I go in the Best Buy. I'm like, hey man, what's the deal with the Beats headphones? Yeah. He was like, man, to be honest, after HTC bought it up, they're pretty shitty headphones.
Yeah, because the thing with HTC audio is it gets loud as shit. Yeah. But that don't mean it's quality that's coming through it.
And he was just breaking that down. He was like, man, if you really want some quality headphones, I either go with like a JBL or some other little product. And I'm like, damn, I thought if any motherfucker just come in here just going off the name of Beats, they just gonna buy it. They ain't gonna really come here like, oh, these is. And guess what? In their mind, it's gonna slap.
Hey, look,
best headphones I've ever had.
And the whole thing is. That whole situation is an ill situation. How Esau is, like, if you don't get down with him, like 50 Cent is an independent artist right now, as a direct result of him starting his own headphone company. Because Jimmy Iovine, the nigga who run Interscope, is the nigga who owned Beats.
Right.
And the fact that 50 went and did his own thing, as opposed to, I want to be a Beats spokesperson. No, he said, I'm gonna go do my own shit. That directly led to his departure from the label.
Yeah, he ain't even signed. He's not even signed.
He's totally independent. He's G-Unit strictly right now.
Oh, I was reading that.
His whole album out by himself. The nigga got the money to do it anyway. But he's not. The whole thing is, when you do it like that, you're not gonna see that much money.
It's not.
He gonna get paid, but not as much as Esau. And that's the whole thing where he got mad. That makes you look. We're skating this down. Every artist is doing promoting Beats. Lil Wayne, all them niggas, they're all getting on board with it, even though they're not even signed to Interscope, because it's just a part of the agenda. Look, you gotta come push this. This is what it is right now.
Oh.
But when you go against that grain, Esau gonna blackball you. So when you go into Best Buy, is SMS in Best Buy? No, you're not gonna see it. You gotta go online to get it. Now, them shits might be better. I don't know because I ain't heard them. I hear they're better sometimes, but who really knows? But it's just the whole thing of you'll never know because it's not in it. Esau is not distributing, and if you don't have the distribution engine model, you're only gonna go but so far.
Right.
You see what I'm saying? And that's what that's what discourages people like Kanye with this whole clothing line. He understood that I gotta pay this much for this textiles and and this, and that, and they're not gonna really distribute me like I want. You know what I'm saying? So it's I'm just not gonna do it. You see what I'm saying? And therein lies the problem.
Right. They force feed you a lot of shit and they put it out there. Same thing with like Jordan shit these days. If you look at the quality of Jordans nowadays, you know, rather than how they was before, it's going down. But guess what? The cost of it is going up.
Yeah.
But as much as they force feed, feed it to you that it's okay and that they're the best and this, that, and the rest, you still want to buy it and you still on the bandwagon with it.
And that's what, and that's true, and that's another point that that 50 had made, you know, because he was a good businessman or whatever. He said when he first came out, when In the Club came out, he could have sold a blank CD, and it would have went platinum before anybody realized that everybody's copy didn't have it. You know what I'm saying? Because it was just so. That was all that was getting spun. You gonna hear 50 Cent once an hour.
Yeah.
What else are you gonna do but go and buy his record before MP3 was prevalent? I'm gonna go get that motherfucking CD.
Exactly.
You see what I'm saying? So it's that whole thing of when Esau force feeds something, everybody's just gonna buy into this.
That's how the music industry is. They play that shit in rotation every day.
Yeah, yeah.
Not one time
Until
a
you
day.
like it.
Yeah, it's not one time you don't hear nothing new or underground.
Yeah,
Underground, you gotta go online to find that shit.
Yeah, but see, that's what's messing them up. That's what's messing the music industry up is the fact that the internet is there.
Yeah, now that underground then bought itself to a higher ground, we can just download all that shit.
That's why you got niggas that's not signing deals.
Exactly.
You know.
Now the industry niggas got to compete with the underground niggas.
Who don't got a deal because I have such a following online. I do videos. If you do enough videos, they gonna fuck with you anyway because people like to see the shit.
Hey, you force feeding them. You hit them with 9-10 videos.
That's how you got your Ice JJ Fish.
Yeah.
Your Lil Terrio.
Just
What the fuck does Lil Terrio do? What? Like
Hang out with Lil Wayne and then that's what he does.
The first couple of videos he did, it was cool. But he's out here really making money off of just making appearances,
That's why
off of Ooh Kill Him.
That's why Esau hates the internet. That's why what's his name? Rockefeller said the worst thing we did was invent the internet. Because it is fucking their ass. Oh, number one, this is getting out. The truth is getting out.
Always.
They can't corner shit anymore like they used to. You can start your own clothing line and sell it. Like 50 cents. He got his headphone shit. Now it ain't in the stores, but you can go online and copy it. You see what I'm saying? So what it's doing is it fucks them up, and it's basically blowing up. And that's why they gonna try to shut it down. That's why they passing the certain bills and everything to shut it down. But real quick, finish that in Revelation 11 and 8.
Revelations 11 and 8, and their dead bodies shall lie in the streets of the great city.
That's right, their dead bodies shall lie in the streets of this place, right?
Which spiritually is called Sodom and Egypt.
It's spiritually called Sodom and Egypt. The spirit and the vibration that is, prevalent throughout this place is that of Sodom and Egypt. Right. Sodom because of the morals. Look at this. Am I tripping right now? Okay, I might be.
No, that's not a dude.
Yeah. But it's Sodom because of the moral. This place is on such a low level. That's why it is known as the Valley of the Shadow of Death.
Right.
Okay, because the morality of this place is in the dumpster. Okay, this place has no morals. That's why they prevalently showcase two men kissing at the NFL draft, because this place has zero morality at this juncture. You understand what I'm saying? So it has the same spirit that Sodom had. Sodom was full of greed and abominable lust, and that's what this place is full of. You understand what I'm saying? Right. Now, Egypt, we understand it has the Egyptian vibration. Number one, the woman is exalted to the goddamn sky. That's an Egyptian vibration. You take out your dollar bill, you can see the Egyptian vibrations all through it. Also Canaanite vibrations.
There's a pyramid everywhere.
Yeah, there's a pyramid or some type of, the eye is so prevalent everywhere. All the Egyptian symbolism, you understand what I'm saying? It's prevalent everywhere. You got these niggas that are on that Kemetic portion that want to go back to Egypt, and you understand that this devil has been utilizing them same symbols for wickedness, right? All those symbols are for wickedness, to work wickedness, witchcraft, alchemy, things of that nature. They have nothing to do with us. Those were used on us when we were in slavery, in bondage in Egypt. Yeah, man. To worship them and to come under the guise of them things, because these things are they're all utilized and they all have vibrations that are key to certain spells and things of that nature.
Right.
To control people's minds. You understand what I'm saying?
That's why. That's what I was telling this brother right here about how they always want to, take things from other wicked empires, or other wicked societies, because
They work so well.
because they work so well. So I'm not too far. I mean, not too sure how far back the like with the combines for sports. How they got you, showing your talents, how strong you are. How fast you can run.
That slave combine.
That slave combine. You see what I'm saying? And it's like all of this stuff comes from some wicked empire, man. All right, and this is that modern, that new wicked empire that's gonna go down like the rest of them. That's how we can make these type of connections. It's like I was trying to explain things like this when we go back and we debate Brother Josh, and they just really don't want to get it.
Basketball, the nets, trap them in the net,
You see what I'm saying?
the
Exactly.
bullets, the gun,
Exactly. That's all it is, man. It's
the
just
Lakers.
this is the thing.
Yeah.
This is exactly what I was just saying. This is exactly what they're trying to push us to, man. All right. That's exactly what they're trying to push us. They're not pushing us to be. Now, I'm not even saying go and try to be in politics because they're not trying to push us to politics, but they want us to be rappers and they want us to be rappers so we can sell ourselves out for whipping and chain, slave deal.
Yeah.
And they're trying to push us towards the Nets, the Bullets, the Redskins, and all that shit. You feel me? The Seahawks, which is basically that eagle.
Uh-huh.
Okay? Come on, man. Come on, man. Hey, Jake. These dudes is conscious, man, but Jake need to wake up, dude. This is sick.
You ain't all the way conscious.
That's
right,
for
man.
all.
Jake, man. Hey, oh, man. Hey, my bro was, sitting there rapping the other day about how conscious he was. And it's like, no, you're not.
You're not. You don't know.
You're not,
You don't
man.
know what. Just because you know. Just because you know about a couple of fucking historical events.
That you
how
probably
Egypt
don't
did-
know nothing
or
about.
how Egypt did something. That don't mean a goddamn thing. Okay? You clearly don't know what the fuck is going on. Because all you sit around and do is talk about the past. You have no idea or concept of how to take the events of the past and apply them to the future. You have no concept of what the world is coming to. You have no concept of the plan that this devil has for your silly, stupid, dumb black ass.
Hey man, these
You're
guys,
not fucking conscious of
hey,
anything.
man, they're lost in that mystery. That's where the conscious is leaving them, just in a mystery, man. Because you guys ain't smart. Like the brother said, y'all can't take events from the past and apply them to the future.
Somebody knocked them unconscious.
Yeah, they further in the unconscious.
Hey, that's right. That's what they say. Y'all be better off just completely unconscious and to be further on.
Yeah.
They was dropped on their heads too many times,
Give me
man.
Isaiah 3 and 9. And let's read. Alright.
This is
That's gonna be a Salat. I was gonna say something.
what you about to say?
Nah, never mind.
So Isaiah chapter 3 verse 9.
Uh-huh.
The show of their countenance doeth witness against it.
So the show of the countenance of the majority of these people bear witness against them. You can see by looking at them that they're a bunch of faggots and dykes read.
And they declare their sin as Sodom.
They declare their sin as Sodom. You can look at these damn people and see that they're Sodomites, wicked, evil bastards and whores. All right, they're into the sickest shit imaginable. Read.
They hide it not.
They hide it not. They do not hide it. It is not a secret. When you see that faggot kissing another man up here, okay? It's not a secret. They hide it not. Read.
Woe unto their soul.
Woe unto the soul of that faggot nigga that just got drafted to the rank.
Right.
Woe unto the destruction unto your soul that saith Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahweh Shai. Read.
That's right.
For they have rewarded evil unto themselves.
That's right. You rewarded evil to yourself. You want to be a faggot. You want to be a dyke. You're rewarding evil unto yourself. You want evil to come to you. Right? Give me Romans 1.
Hey, like this brother said, that cameraman too, man.
Yeah.
You didn't even realize you just rewarded evil to yourself by even broadcasting that shit and putting it on, out to the world.
That's right.
You should have said, hey man, I'm not filming no faggot, man.
Fuck that. I refuse.
I refuse.
I'll go to
That's what I'm
Fox.
saying. I'll go to Fox. You'll be recording faggots all goddamn day. You go to Fox. This is Romans chapter 1. I'm gonna start at what you gonna start at?
Start at 26. Where we at? I don't want to do the. I just really want to get the point. Yeah, I just want to get the point. That's why I don't want to get all of it. Okay, yeah, just read 27. Just read 27.
Romans 1 is a real meaty. That's a meaty chapter right there. Romans chapter 1 verse 27. And likewise also the men, leaving the natural use of the woman, burned in their lust one towards another.
Being faggots, right? Go ahead.
Men with men, working that which is unseemly.
It is unseemly for two men to lay down with one another. That is unseemly. Okay, read.
And receiving in themselves that recompense of their error, which was me.
That's right. What is the recompense of the error for homosexuality? Death.
That's right.
So that's the error. Okay, I mean, that is the recompense of that error. That is the punishment for that wicked, atrocious act. Okay? And all you faggots is going to see it one way or another.
That's right.
All right, thus saith Yahweh Hashem Yahushua. Give me 1 Kings 15:11.
See, the thing is, man, early on, man, the Lord was having y'all see that death, you know, by what is that?
Immediate
like,
judgment.
By them
Stone
STDs,
you.
man.
Oh no, but that AIDS that ran rampant and it's still running rampant in the faggot community. You got faggots that actually go out here and seek to get infected with AIDS.
Yeah, like it's like the fucking Olympics to get eggs or something.
You know? Go ahead,
But see, look, this is the thing, though, man. Jake. That's why the Lord had it to where 2/3 of the nation of Israel had to be killed off, because you got 66.6 of us that is not going to get right, you know, even though they see the judgment right there in front of their face, man.
Yeah, not going to take
You
it
see
to
what I'm
heart.
saying? They're not going to take it to heart, man, and correct themselves. Jake wants to ram a circular block, man, into a triangular hole, and it's just not going to work. So when he sees that that's wrong is wrong, they're going to keep trying to force it in there. And say, hey, well, the block was just made like this. It'll work. We can make it work in a society that's not going to allow it, man. It's sick. 15 and what?
11 to 12.
This is 1 Kings chapter 15, verse 11.
Uh-huh.
It says, and Assad did that which was right in the eyes of the Lord.
Right, so Assad was a king in Israel, right? And he did which was right. So understand something. What they're getting ready to say he did was right in the eyes of the Lord. Read.
As did David, his father.
As did his father David, which wasn't his actual father, but one of his forefathers. Read.
It says, and he took away the Sodomites out of the land.
So what he did that was right in the sight of the Lord was take away the Sodomites out of the land. He eradicated the faggots and dykes out of Israel. And that's what we need to do, because there are faggots and dykes within Israel, and they must be eradicated. They must be exterminated. They must be done away with, because they are poison, they are cancer.
That's right.
That's right. Read.
So like it says, and he took away all the Sodomites out of the land and removed all the idols that his fathers had made.
That's right. And not only the Sodomites, not only did he get rid of the faggots and dykes, he also got rid of the idolatry. Shit like this. So what do we got to do? We got to get rid of the idols, and we got to get rid of the cancerous homosexual fucking freaks.
That's right.
Okay? We must get rid of that. We must get rid of the pedophiles from amongst our people. We must get rid of the motherfuckers that's zoophiles, the zoophiliacs from amongst our people. Right. We got to get rid of all of that. Anything that's sick and against the scriptures, we got to get rid of it. Right? We got to get rid of the whores from amongst our people. We got to get rid of the men of our people that are adulterers from amongst our people. We got to get rid of all of that. Israel got to be purged. Thus saith Yahweh Hashem Yahushua. We got to be purged. We got to be cleansed. We got to be sanctified. That's why 2/3 ain't gonna make it, right? Now,
that's why we don't need to.
Yeah, that's right. That's right. Cause you ain't doing nothing but holding us back, man. Y'all dead weight.
Think about a 2/3 nigga, man, while we're trying to, rebuild the kingdom. And just on the count of they being Jake, man, the Lord just saved them for the love that he had for them, and they just slacking and shit. They don't want to fucking work. They sitting there letting Edomites get away with saying, man, don't worry about it, man. Fuck all that shit. Y'all can take a break, man. Fuck.
Y'all gave us a break back in them times, so we're just gonna give you one now.
Man, they didn't give us no break, man.
No breaks, man.
That's what I'm saying. They didn't give us no breaks.
Where you at? Go to Deuteronomy 32.
After
31.
After First King?
Yeah, whenever you finish First King.
No, First King is done.
Okay, yeah, go to Deuteronomy 32.
And 38?
31.
Deuteronomy chapter 32, verse 31. For their rock is not as our rock.
So their rock is not as our rock. Hold that. Give me 2 Samuel 22 and 2. What does it mean when it say their rock is not as our rock? Let's find out. Well, yeah, exactly. That's what I'm getting to.
2 Samuel chapter 22 verse 2, and he said, the Lord is my rock.
The Lord is my rock, right, Reed?
And my fortress.
So our God and your God are different, okay? Now go back to that in Deuteronomy.
And my deliverer.
Oh, yeah, and my deliverer, my rock, my fortress, my deliverer. Now we went into what the word fortress means last week, right? It means your strong point. So the Lord is our strong point. He is our strength. He is our rock. He holds us down, our foundation.
That's right.
Put a rock on a piece of paper, that motherfucker gonna fly away, is it? Into the wind, right?
Go
Gonna
hold.
fall by the wayside. So our rock is not your rock. Our God is not your God. If you're a faggot, if you're a homosexual, our God is not the same. We're not serving and worshiping the same God, right?
Yeah, that's what the scripture said in the name of the Holy Spirit will be eaten.
That's right.
All right, because the strength that the Lord puts on us or gives us through His name, He doesn't give to these other nations.
That's right.
Therefore, they don't call on that name because it actually is more of a detrimental to them than it is, a benefit, man. A detriment to them than it is a benefit, right? Can we finish that?
Yeah. Deuteronomy 33. I mean 32. Read till verse 33.
It says even.
Go ahead.
It says even our enemies themselves being judged, for their vine is of the vine of Sodom, and of the fields of Gomorrah. Their grapes are grapes of gall. Their clusters are bitter. Their wine is the poison of dragons, and the cruel venom of asp.
Where's vine? Read that part about the vine. The vine is in Sodom.
Deuteronomy 32:32. For their vine is of the vine of Sodom.
So their vine is of the vine of Sodom. Now, get a lesson on the vine and the wine and what that means. That is synonymous with their doctrine. So their doctrine, their philosophy is as the philosophy of Sodom, right? Do what thou wilt sexually. That is their philosophy, right? Now keep reading. What is it described as philosophy as?
Speaking of that vine.
Man, they've been catching people on this block all day.
Read it for me out.
What is that about? What tree cannot bring forth good fruit?
You got it.
This is Matthew chapter 7, verse 18. It says, a good tree cannot bring forth evil fruit.
A good tree cannot bring forth evil fruit. So if your vine is as the same type of vine that Sodom had, nothing good could come from it. Because nothing good came out of Sodom, and Sodom was utterly destroyed. Right, Reed?
Neither can a corrupt tree bring forth good fruit.
That's right. So if your vine is corrupt, as Sodom was corrupt,
That's right.
as this place's vine is corrupt, as a lot of our people's vine is corrupt, 2/3 of our people think that, how is anything good going to come of that?
Amen. That's why the scriptures say you are known, by your fruits. So the only way that we will identify you is by the things that you produce, man. All right?
Precept to that is Luke 6:43.
What? It's a precept to it? Yeah, you know what I'm saying? So, only way we be able to identify you is by the fruit that you produce. So if you out here producing homosexuals and broadcasting that shit all over the place, then we know that you are of that vine, from Sodom, man. This is pretty simple, man.
Back in Deuteronomy?
Yeah.
Yeah, read.
It says, for their vine is of the vine of Sodom,
Oh, yeah.
and their fields of Gomorrah. Their grapes are grapes of gall. Their clusters are bitter.
And they're bitter, right? It's bitter poison that is when you eat of this shit, you're poisoning yourself. You are guaranteeing yourself an imminent death and judgment from the Most High God in the name of Jesus. All right? That's all you can guarantee. Bitter. From the Hebrew word, mara, right? Meaning what? Bitter. When we drink that bitter water, that place was called Marabah. Okay. I go to Lamentations 4. Wrap up on that fact. I just had to know because shit like this is sickening.
Yeah, it's not bad.
It's sickening to the stomach. To see this shit running so rampant and prevalent. To see homosexuals running around like it's all good. That's one of the most frowned upon acts you could ever commit.
I didn't know you that well.
6.
I mean, I knew you.
This is Lamentations chapter 4, verse 6. For the punishment of the iniquity of the daughter of my people is greater than the punishment of the sin of Sodom.
So the Lord said he been doing us and will continue to do us worse than he did to Sodom. Right, Reed?
It says that was overthrown as in a moment, and no hands stayed on her.
So understand something. The Most High say he doing us worse than Sodom. We must be doing what Sodom did times 10, times 100. Our people, okay? So when you see Michael Sam up there, understand niggas are. That is, I don't even know if his name is Michael. I know his last name is Samson. Either way, it's irregardless. That faggot football player, right? When you see niggas like him, understand why you in the circumstances you in. Because of niggas like him. Because of faggot ass niggas like him. That's the reason why we in these circumstances. And in these fights. And in these hells. Right?
And then now the rest of y'all, like, the rest of these niggas in the NFL just cool with it. Like, it's their lifestyle, so it's like they devised now that they had to act like that. They got to be okay with this nigga being a faggot.
Yeah,
Or else they going to lose their job. They ain't going to make no money.
Go to Judges 3 and 7.
I have to accept you.
That he's tackling your rear.
Huh?
Yeah.
When he on your ass literally, then what?
Oh my God, man. How the fuck do you feel?
Nah, he gonna have some problems in the league.
Yeah, he is.
That's guaranteed. There's some niggas that when the shit
like that.
actually happen, that's not gonna like that.
Because the thing about it is, it's not like you can't feel the same way that.
You can't
that
say how you feel.
Yeah, this is.
Remember that shit on Playmaker? You watched Playmaker when it was on ESPN?
Yeah.
And then it was like, hey, this NFL is no place for sodomites.
Yeah, for real. That is all place, man. It's too much contact. But guess what? He tackle you, and that fucking demon hop off on your ass.
No.
And next thing you know, you out here. Next thing you know, you out here switching and hanging and snapping your wrist. You know.
Go ahead, go to Judges 3 and 7.
She clearly was a check up. Esau spent the fuck. Esau spent the fuck up like. Come on, Marvin.
Yeah.
Go ahead, Judges 3 and 7.
This is Judges chapter 3, verse 7.
Yeah.
And the children of Israel did evil in the sight of the Lord, and forgave the Lord their power, and served Baalim and the groves.
And the groves, right? What is the groves? Who know the Hebrew? Anybody out here know the Hebrew word for groves? When the groves appear? It's Asherah. Groves means pussy worship, means woman worship, means Semiramis worship. Anytime you see the word groves appear there, it's because they were worshiping the woman, right? They was worshiping Baalim and the grove, meaning they were worshiping Nimrod and they were worshiping Semiramis. That's what's in reference to. Give that back, kid. So you got a question?
Groves.
But they were worshiping the groves, right? And that's what today is all about. It's all about worshiping the groves. It's like Easter. It's all about worshiping the groves. It's all about worshiping the woman.
Does that have anything to do with that Bohemian Grove thing that?
Well, the grove, in the grove, they worship the woman.
Okay.
In the Bohemian Grove, they don't worship the woman. They worship Moloch.
Right.
But grove, those are ancient places of worship. Because you got to understand that they worship nature.
Right.
That's why they do it in the grove.
Okay.
Now, when you go into a church building, they have the master masons assemble the church with arches to imitate the grove. When you go into a grove of trees, when the two trees come together,
right,
it just look just like that.
Right. Okay.
So a church is just an imitation of the grove.
Okay.
You see what I'm saying? And the woman's room, and that's why they have the grotto. Like you see Semiramis, it'll have something over. That's a grotto or a cave. That's all ancient. That's all an ancient.
Yeah. Okay.
And the cave, when you really get into it, the cave is the womb.
Okay.
It represents a womb.
Over the womb, the bush. A woman's bush.
Yeah.
Right. That's why, you said that's why they got the thing like that.
Yeah, it come in like this. It come in like this.
Anytime you see her, she always right.
Yeah,
Okay.
and she always got the joint open.
Right.
Because she's coming out the grotto or the cave. Because in the ancient, when you look at this, like I just did when I was did the Muslim debate, I was showing how the ancient deities, that's how they deify them. Someplace you'll see the halo, but it depends on what is the chief deity of the
Right,
kingdom. If
exactly.
they worship in the sun, you're going to see the halo, because that's what deifies them. But if they worship in the caves, in the grottos, you're going to see them enclosed in something. You see what I'm saying? It's the same thing. It deifies something. It's when you go into the cave, the demon that you talk to is that demon.
Right.
So that's what's around it to indicate it. So it's deep. When you take a look at the symbol, the shit runs deep. So go ahead.
But ain't you know how the top of the houses is kind of got like that, and it's like they're not flat. I thought that was a part of the groves too. Like not a part of it, but kind of representing the groves or the woman worship and things like that.
I mean, it's kind of
How
hard.
it comes up to that point.
It's kind of hard to say because architecturally making houses with the point has its advantages. It makes sense in a lot of instances, especially in dealing with rain. Like if it rains, it's good for your shit to come up to a point so it'll go down. Rain will pile up on the top of a flat house. You see what I'm saying? So that's why it's not. You can kind of look at that like I always thought about that too with architecture, but a lot of sometimes with architecture in as far as the roof goes, it's not that deep sometimes.
Sure, it could be twofold, man. They could use it for, like you said, the benefactor of it is to, hey, the rain's not gonna pile up, but at the same time, you can also give, homage and respect to the other gods that have been before us.
Well, yeah. Well, that would
pay respects to
at the
that.
point. At the point, it wouldn't be women worship. That would be penis worship.
Right, because the woman is upside down. Right?
Yeah, that's Nimrod. Like when you go to the bathroom and you see the sign, the man is a triangle and the woman is a circle.
Right.
That's all Nimrod and Semiramis. We see it everywhere we go. We see Nimrod and Semiramis being homage being paid to everywhere we go. Everything we see in life. In America, this is how we know it's Babylon. Everywhere we go, we can see. The symbol for the woman and the symbol for the man. It's the masculine and the feminine forms of nature, and because that's what they worship. They worship nature. That's why they worship in the groves. Again, you got that?
Yeah, it's the Hebrew word Asherah. And it says groves for idol worship. A Babylonian Astarte. Canaanite goddess of fortune and happiness, the supposed consort of Baal, her images.
Her image. So this same Mary that we see in the grove that Catholics bow down to is the same. She just had a black face that was being worshipped in this ancient time. It's the same thing. Now today, Mother's Day is indicated about that. You understand what I'm saying? So. You gotta, this is all ancient shit that's going on. All ancient worship, but the phallic and the pussy. You understand what I'm saying? Which is wicked. It's all wicked. It's all idolatry. Right? But that's what set Israel apart from all the other people around us, right? The heathen round about. What set us apart from the heathen round about is the fact that unlike them, we didn't have an idol. We knew that our power was a power that was everything. He exists. He to be, he is, right? So we knew it. We couldn't put an image on him because he was much more than that. He's a living God. He's not a dead image. He's not a dead idol. Go ahead, where you at? That was it on 3 and 7? But, matter of fact, read it again.
Judges chapter 3, verse 7. And the children of Israel did evil in the sight of the Lord.
Right, so an evil thing that they did, right, Reed?
And forgave the Lord their power.
They forgot about the Most High, Reed.
And served Baalim and the groves.
So they celebrate Father and Mother's Day.
That's right.
That's what it is. Baalim, that's the father. And the groves, that's indicative of the mother. Right? So that's what they did. They forgot Yahweh, the Most High God. Right? To serve their mother and father and worship the feminine and masculine principles of nature. That's what they did, and that's what people are doing today. It's all about my mother. You went up in the church house, they gave a specialized Mother's Day sermon. We're giving a Mother's Day sermon as well. But they give it a specialized Mother's Day sermon, and they taking your mother and putting her in Semiramis seat.
And then what they're going to do is give you half the scripture, just honor thy mother. That's all they're going to give you, honor thy mother, and then it's going to all play out.
You're supposed to honor your mother every day,
That's what
not on just Mother's Day.
Systematically, by design,
The black woman is God.
and the black woman got it. Then you go into the Kevin Durant, MVP speech, man. What was that? A few days before Mother's Day. And they keep replaying the speech today. And then they put Happy Mother's Day right after. You see what I'm saying? It's like, man, you're literally a slave in this thing. I'm not saying that it was wrong for him to kind of, point out that his mother did something for him. That's cool. But what they did was they took it and then blew it up.
They exalted it.
And made it something wicked.
Yeah, he's on it today.
He's blurping all kind of people, huh?
They out today. And you signal. That's crazy. And he ain't wasn't bad. But anyway. But yeah, so they put now the black woman is God all of a
Oh
sudden.
shit, you gonna get him? Yeah, he can pull over too, huh? Wait. Yeah, stay there. No. Stay there.
Yeah, he's about to get it.
He's doubling up. This guy's on the roll.
Hey, this guy has 4 people in about the last 2
Yeah,
hours.
the last 2 hours. And yeah, he flicked somebody here. Went to the next block, got somebody. Get this nigga hit the corner. Got this nigga going the wrong way.
He's on the roll. You got to be a stupid mother. I'll peel off.
He got the dude in the Viale too
Oh yeah, for jaywalking.
for jaywalking.
So we can't jaywalk. Make sure to go to the corner. But yeah, so they feed you this Mother's Day shit, and all of a sudden the black woman is God, because you're told to honor and hold this woman to the highest degree. And a lot of people have that idolatrous mindset in their own area. Gate, to jump anyway, right? Giving an idol like these dumbass nations. So you don't see the Most High. You see your mother doing this and that. So as opposed to thinking the Most High, you skip a step and think him out. You see what I'm saying? That's the whole thing about this whole concept of all these people. They skip steps. They skip key steps. That whole black woman is God. That whole doctrine comes from skipping key step to create. Like I was just saying, like when my woman expecting this shit right there, like, when you in the black woman's womb, you being nurtured, this and that. But wait a minute. I put the food on the table. So you cannot be nurtured in that black woman's womb if the black man is not there putting food on that table so she can eat it and nurture you.
What is it? It's like they being praised by default.
Yeah, like by default. Yeah, exactly. It's a default praise.
It's a default praise.
And why ain't the child, like, you got to think about what the child is, because understand, like, when I was looking at the ultrasound, like, this motherfucker in there moving his umbilical cord, doing all kind of shit. Who the fuck taught him how to do that? Motherfucking, on your own, you know what I'm saying? You're already on the level of a deity, on a God level, on your own when you're born. You know what I'm saying? You already have innate things that you're doing. So the baby is as important as the mother is, because the baby is key to your nation being repopulated and replenished. So that's the whole thing. Like, that logic is flawed. It's really flawed and can be easily exposed. I really wanted to debate one of the niggas on the black woman's God. I'm waiting for a night challenge.
And really one of the main things that they, put out there is try to exalt the woman and give her strength because of the pains that she has to go through during this pregnancy.
But what did she do to
Exactly.
have?
It's like, what did she do to, cause her to have these pains? What did she do to have to cause herself to raise that kid on her own? What the fuck did she do to the daddy? Okay? What the fuck wasn't she doing to the daddy? Okay? Because if that bitch was in order, I tell you this: no man in his right mind is gonna sit up here and just leave a woman that's in order. Just because of a baby, to be honest.
Like, if you're in order, the next step after that is the baby.
It's the baby. You see what I'm saying?
Watch out, Manny.
Because you don't mind.
Right.
People be trying to make it seem like, man, that the baby is just such a burden on you. Nah, man. You gotta think. Well, I was watching what was that, Black Ink the other day, and my nigga was on there fucking crying like, my life is fucked up right now. Because I don't want to, you know, my dad, I didn't really know who my dad was, and I reached out to try to find him. I found out that he's dead. He ain't never been in my life, so I don't want to be a deadbeat dad to my kid, but I'm having a baby with a bitch I don't even want to be with. He's on there balling. And you know, you have no choice but to feel him because that's the predicament that Jake is put in.
But at the same time, Jake got so many goddamn problems. Number one,
Right.
just to be quite frank, you shouldn't lay with no woman you ain't ready not to have kids with. You shouldn't. When you lay with a woman, that's supposed to be a woman you're supposed to be ready to have kids with.
Huh? Because it could happen. That's the whole point of it.
Real, that's the whole point of it. I mean, it's there for pleasure as well.
Right.
But you know, the ultimate goal of this relationship is
$10
to replenish the nation. You understand what I'm saying? That is the ultimate goal of this whole scenario. You know, so that's the thing. Jake, man, we fucked up, man. We jacked up in this place. We are destroyed for so many reasons. So we got to get right. You know, we got to get right. You know what I'm saying? Where you at? Judges 3 and 7. Give me 1 Kings 14 and 15. Because we often serve these groves, which is this woman worship that we see. Okay? And it's pure wicked. Pure, utter wicked.
1 Kings 14, 15.
14, 15.
1 Kings chapter 14, verse 15.
Uh-huh.
It says, "For the Lord shall smite Israel as a reed is shaken in the water."
So the Lord said he's going to smite Israel. But what is the reason he smote us? Read.
And he shall root up Israel out of his good land, which he gave to their fathers.
So we were smote and rooted out of our land. We are actually, he's telling us he was going to do this before he did it. Now we're reading it after it's been done. Right, Reed?
And shall gather them beyond the river, because they have made their groves.
Why did he root us out? Why are we in Israel right now? Because of the groves that because of the woman worship. That's one of the key reasons why we're in America under the devil. Because of worshiping the woman, and y'all still worship the woman. It's something called trial and error in observational science that our people are not realizing. Worshiping a woman get your ass nowhere. It might get you some pussy from time to time. Outside of that, ultimately it gets you nowhere fast. So why do you keep doing it?
Niggas die over bitches all the time.
Niggas die, like I was just talking about. How many gangs have killed tens of, or if not hundreds, dozens of people because of one bitch one day started a beef between two different hoods that actually liked each other. That were cool with one another, used to hang out with each other.
They didn't have no problems.
Didn't have no problem.
Till that bitch came around.
The bitch came, the two niggas from opposing, or not even opposing, from just two different neighborhoods is fucking the same bitch, and one of them killed the other one. Now these two neighborhoods don't like each other. So now when you see 10, 20 years later down the line, you're a young dude, and you see another young dude that's 4 blocks away from you, but because of one bitch 20 years ago, you want to kill this bitch. Matter of fact, go to Isaiah and read like the Bible, where it says, "For this cause your husband shall die in the street."
Shit, it didn't even have to be two different dudes from two different gangs. It could have been, you feel me, in the same gang. One bitch could have been fucking with two niggas in the same gang, and that nigga branch off and go start his own gang. Now you got, you feel me, 9th Street and 12th Street funking with each other.
Beefing hard. And that's real. And that's the thing of, it's a part of the curses, and this women worship literally gets us nowhere. Man worship literally gets us nowhere. Only worshiping the Most High, right?
Straight.
But you gotta reverence His Son because you can't get to the Father but through the Son. He's the mediator. He's the go-to God, right? You got that?
So Isaiah chapter 3, verse 25. Thy men shall fall by the sword.
That men shall fall by the sword. The men, black woman, Hispanic woman. Why are your men dying in the streets? Because of you, a lot of times. Now, you might not be a direct result, but this is a curse that was put on you that you would lose your man in the streets to drive-by shootings and things of that nature. Go ahead.
And thy mighty in the war.
And thy mighty in the war. Now, the majority, even though a lot of our people are in the military, the majority of our people are fighting here in the streets against each other, right? And niggas is dying subtracting daily. And they always is leaving a woman behind, crying. Oh, that was my nigga, I love him. All that, right? But you got to examine yourself because it has a lot to do with the sins of your past. Not only the sins of your past, his past too. But there's a reason why you were put with that man only to lose him. Because of what you did. That's punishment on you. So everything is full circle. The Most High system is flawless. Okay? Give me for First King. Go to 2 Chronicles 34.
2 Chronicles
30.
34. 3 to 4.
2 Chronicles chapter 34, verse 3. For in the 8th year of his reign, while he was yet young, it says he began to seek after the Most High, or the power of David his father.
That's right. He began to seek after the Most High, right? Read.
It says, and in the 12th year he began to purge Judah and Jerusalem from the high places and the groves.
So yeah, that purging we spoke about earlier, that cleansing of our people that took place from the groves, from that woman worship that our people love to partake in. Oh, you got a question? Huh? Jesus is a Negro. We believe in the Bible and its truth and its totality. Okay? Jesus don't look like this. This is a homosexual. It's not Jesus Christ. The world knows it's Jesus Christ. Okay? He looked more like this. Not saying this is him, but this, according to the biblical description, is how he appeared when he was on earth.
Like, I'm okay with that. I'm okay with crapping out. One time. Oh my God, in my life.
All right? We're here giving the truth of the Bible. The Bible tells you that God's chosen people are the black and Hispanic people. And that's what we're here to tell you. If you didn't know that, which you might know that, I don't know. But whether you know that or not, we're here to tell you. And we're not here to tell you like the church is saying, oh, everybody's God's children. No, because everybody is not God's children. God is dealing with an exclusive group of people. He ain't dealing with the whole world.
Speak up.
Where you from? Where you grew up in? South? That's cool. That's cool. But yeah, what's your pops? Your pops black?
I ain't got no problem.
You got a pop. You got a pop. How you here? You manifest yourself? Sperm donor. But there was a man that produced you though. I understand you might not have been there, whatever, but you still got a pop. We all got daddies. We all got mamas. You can't forget neither of them. You understand what I'm saying?
So what was that song?
He was a black man, or do you know? Now, I mean, look, I understand you, but it's the whole point of we all come from somewhere. We all have a lineage. You understand what I'm saying? And that's important. Where you at? You read verse 4. Oh, go ahead.
It says, from the high places and the groves and the carved images and the molten images.
That's right, from the high. So our people got to be cleansed and purged from the high places, which are the Canaanite altars, the high places, the step altars.
Thank you for what you do.
No problem, sis. But them step altars, right, that they used to worship the Canaanite deities. That's why they used to worship Moloch and things like that. On the step altars, the groves, that's the mother worship, the woman worship, the molten images. What's the modern name molten image? This homosexual right here. So we got to be purged from these things. Okay, go ahead. Cleansed from these things, sanctified from these things, right? Go ahead.
It says, and they break down the altars of Baalim in his presence.
That's right. We got to break down these altars. So it's going to come a time where the Most High put the Spirit on His elect, and shit like this will get torn down. Shit like that. We're going to these churches, like Elder Gabar said, we're going to kill that faggot organ player. You know what I'm saying? We're going to churches, and we're going to tear all of this down. Because all of this is wickedness. All of this is not of the Most High God. Go ahead.
That's right.
It says, and the images that were on high above them, He cut down, and the groves and the carved images and the molten images.
So we're
He
going to
break
cut it
in
down.
pieces.
You got to cut it down. That's the righteous thing to do. To get rid of this. To demonize this. To let people know this is a lie. To destroy it. Know that there ain't no power in this. The Most High God is not in this. Right? Go ahead.
That's another thing, man. It's basically what is a stronghold. Okay, with that the scriptures, you know, tell us to also tear down. That's why it's you know, important for us to come out here, like the brother just said, demonize that image, demonize that doctrine, and all the rest of the philosophies out here, man. Right? First of all, we're gonna prove that they bullshit, and then we're gonna demonize
That's
it,
right?
Because the only reason that you do believe in it and hold on to it so tough is because there's a demon on it.
That's
right? There's a certain vibration and spirit that comes off of it. Okay?
That's conjured up when y'all did it so much back in them times.
Hey man, also men in them false names is conjuring us.